I've been saying for the longest, what Drake needs to do is drop some music for his core fan base, which is women. If you haven't seen my Drake fan base pie chart, go watch it. I break down Drake's fan base. But I've been saying, like, post Kendrick beef, what Drake needs to do, he needs to just drop something for his core fan base, let people know he's still out here. And this is what he did with this Partynextdoor album. Now, this isn't going to be something I ever listen to like that. This is never going to be in my rotation. I find Partynextdoor very formulaic. And I'm not really the hugest fan of R&B Drake, right? But it doesn't matter for me. I'm not Drake's core fan base. I'm not his target audience. I've never been. This is going to resonate with people who loved Drake back in 09, 10, 11, 12. You know, especially with Partynextdoor providing the vibes, probably writing a good chunk of the R&B on the album, the hooks and the bridges. This is something that's perfect for what Drake needed right now. And it's resonating with his core fan base. Here is Melyssa Ford, who is name dropped on the album. If you remember Melyssa Ford, this is someone who allegedly Drake used to date. Melyssa Ford, she's on the Joe Budden podcast. Yo, they were dancing to this song. It's like, oh, it's over for Drake. Here's Melyssa Ford, she gets up and dances. Like, it was a dancing on Drake's theoretical grave, right? And I said during the beef, in the midst of things, what Drake needs to do after this is just drop something for his core fan base, women. And women called me sexist because I think women, they're going to remember why they like Drake's music. They're going to like the music again. He's going to build back buzz again. And he's eventually going to drop another hit record, breaking his tie with Michael Jackson, becoming essentially the #1 hit maker of all time. Women called me sexist. This is facts. Women call me sexist when I said this. They're like, oh, you think women are dumb? I hate how you think women are so dumb that you think we're just going to hear a song we like and we're going to forget about all the bad things Drake has done and said to us. Okay. So again, this is Melyssa Ford. Then this is Melyssa Ford after she's name dropped on the Drake album, where Drake basically strokes her ego a little bit. Now she's back to loving Drake.
Do comparisons, so we're saying that it's the supreme
We're not playing no Drake, nigga.
We're not playing that last.
Just because he tried to come make nice with you on some divide and conquer shit, like he always do, big up the girl to get at the nigga I'm beefing with. Don't fall for the fucking trap.
Yeah. This is Melyssa Ford's Instagram profile. She's got the Drake song tagged. Again, we go from this to this. So this is what I was saying, man. Like, hey y'all, I am a one-man show. I record, edit the video myself, create the thumbnail, everything. So hitting like and subscribe does help a bunch. Thanks so much. Back to the video. And then here's the next thing that's gonna happen. ESP, let me predict what's gonna happen. I don't think Drake is done dropping music this year. I don't see Drake like touring on this album. I think Drake's gonna drop again, right? But this is just the play to get my core fan base back together, to make sure everyone's in formation, you know, in terms of, you know, the Drake OVO fandom, right? What's going to happen next is Drake is going to have a hit record. So he just needs to make sure on his next solo album that his lead single is a smash hit. And he's probably working on it right now. This is something that you work on, because this lead single, if it's a smash hit, everything that happened in the Kendrick beef, we're not going to forget it. It's the biggest hip hop beef of all time, but it just becomes irrelevant to 2025 going onward, right? I even think the bullet shirt and the smoking bullet holes, I think that was a good move, because Drake is more so leaning into the fact, like, yeah, I got destroyed in a rap beef. He's leaning into it, but he's like, yo, I'm still here though. I even thought that was some good symbolism. I just think Drake needs to chill on the Kendrick stuff. The lawsuit, the UMG lawsuit where he's suing over Not Like Us, I think that was a bad move, because it prolongs the talk around the beef. If he never done that lawsuit, I think we would have been moving on from this. But the lawsuit gave the whole Kendrick and Drake thing like another 2, 3, 4 months of legs when it didn't need that. Like, it was already over. Like, that lawsuit was like, what, early December? The beef was already over like for months. Then he drops the lawsuit, which kind of reignites everything. And then Kendrick mentions the lawsuit in the Super Bowl performance. And then and now people are talking about that, and it gives it legs when it doesn't need to give it legs. Drake just needs to just move on from that. If you want to throw shots out Joe Budden or A$AP Rocky or them other guys, sure. But the Kendrick stuff, I think it's good to move on. But I did think the bullet holes thing, I think that was good imagery, good symbolism, because it shows you're embracing it and you're leaning into it. Like, yeah, I lost, but I'm here. Because you can't ignore the elephant in the room. You go do a concert and Kendrick just done the Super Bowl halftime show and you got a lawsuit against Guy's label. That's an elephant in the room. You could ignore the elephant in the room, but I think addressing it especially in that way, I think it was effective. So yeah, it seems like Drake's fans, his fan base, are really liking the album. I also want to play this clip by Gillie. He was on Club Shay last year. People felt like, yo, Drake, he's done. None of his singles are charting. He's done. And I'm like, yo, he's one of the biggest to ever do it. So like to pretend like this guy is done, he's never gonna come back and have a hit record is insane. That's just how I felt. And again, I'm someone who's never really liked his music like that. Like to act like this is all over because he lost a rap beef, and I would always mention Jay-Z and Nas. Like, yo, Jay-Z lost to Nas. Jay-Z went on the radio and apologized. Jay-Z heard Ether, and it sounded like he was on the verge of tears when he heard that song on the radio. This is on the internet. You can go look all this up. Jay-Z lost to Nas, and he still went on 2001 onward and was still Jay-Z. So I don't know, people were kind of acting like Drake couldn't do the same. So here's what Gillie had to say. Love the big hat too. Yo, shout out to big hats.
That man won 5 Grammys off that.
Why does it matter? You lost a rap battle. That's like LeBron James losing the NBA Finals. You be cool next year. You be back. At the end of the day, Kendrick's great. Drake's great. It's a rap battle, man.
This kind of mirrors what I was saying. Like, it's a rap battle. Like, the idea that Drake can never come back, he's done forever. Again, if this is your first rap battle, or you've never seen a rap battle of a bigger magnitude like this, I can understand why you would feel that way. Especially you're reading social media, and you might be in an echo chamber of your timeline. Everyone's just saying, oh, he's done, Drake is done. I never felt he was done. Like I said, he's going to be back with a hit. So yeah, obviously I'm not a big fan of Drake's music. You guys can see the yawning review that I did of the Drake and Partynextdoor album. Not my cup of tea, but I'm also not the target audience. I think it's the right move though. I said it back during the Drake and Kendrick beef, like, yo, just Drake needs to do something for his core fan base, which is women, which is what he just done. I also feel like he should take some time off, take some time away, but contractually, I don't even know if he can do that. I don't know what type of contracts he has to do, if it's X amount of tours, X amount of albums. But I think, number one, his solo album that comes out, which is going to be his first solo album post-beef, this will be the Drake album that I do listen to. I ain't listened to a Drake album since 2020, Dark Lane, demo tapes. It's, again, the music is, none of it resonates with me. So the idea of me just continuing to listen to dude year after year when I don't like the music is insane. But this upcoming solo album that he drops will be my first album that I listen to him. I would say he needs to make sure that lead single is a smash hit. If it's a smash hit, you're going to see how quickly all this evaporates. You can kind of already see how people are changing their tune a little bit. It's not just all pro Kendrick stuff. Like, no one was coming to Drake's rescue during the beef. But now people are kind of coming out here and there and, you know, being more reasonable about things, I guess. But one, Drake's got to make sure his solo album has a smash lead single. Whether that's pop, whether that's rap, it doesn't matter. It needs to be a smash. And two, I think, and I've been saying this too, I just think Drake needs to do something comedic. He needs to do something comedic, whether it's a skit, whether it's a short part in the movie. Acting, that is his trait. That's his skill. That's how he came up, is acting. If he just does something comedic, I don't know, I think it'll just lighten the mood as a whole. What did y'all think of that Drake Partynextdoor album? Again, it's 20 plus songs. I'm not gonna listen to that whole thing. You're seeing me yawning through it. I feel like once you heard a couple Partynextdoor songs, you pretty much heard them all. They're all similar. There's stuff that's far and few in between that sounds different than the rest. I just think Party has a formula, and it's just a formula I'm not really interested in like that. I do like the song Recognize, which came out years ago. Nokia was a cool song off of here, but I think my yawning review is pretty accurate. Accurate feeling of how I feel about this. So anyway, what y'all think? Do y'all still feel that, yo, Drake, he's done forever? He's done forever. He's done. He's in the dirt. Finito, you still feel like that? Or are you starting to see the light? Like, okay, there is a way for this guy to crawl back. We've seen it with Jay-Z and Nas. And like I've been saying, I do hope we get to a point where Kendrick and Drake piece it up, shake hands, whether it's on stage for a photo shoot. It can be fake. It can be like, yo, I still don't like you. But I just think it's a good precedent to set. It's a precedent that's been set before their beef. Other rap beef have resulted years later, months, years later, yo, we shake hands, we move on. I think it's a good precedent to set. They may never be cool personally, but it kind of quells and calms down the fan bases and the other people in their team who will actually get stuff popping. Like, it kind of settles that down. The response I get from some people is, oh, they'll never do that. It's going too far. Kendrick doesn't respect him and all this. It hasn't gone too far. Gucci and Jeezy. There is an attempted murder on Gucci, man. And then Gucci Mane killed someone, allegedly, who was close to Jeezy. Like, people actually died in this, but they still went on verses and shook hands. Are they best friends? No. But that's good for Atlanta. It should have happened years before that, but you got to give people their time, especially when some real stuff like that happened. But someone actually died. This Kendrick Drake thing, no one died. Someone got shot, but I don't think that was Kendrick's doing, one of Drake's security guards at his house or something. But it hasn't gone too far. The Kendrick and Drake thing, it was just name calling. You're a wife beater, you're a PDF, well, you're this and you're that. Like, it hasn't gone too far. So even if it's 5-10 years from now, I would like to see these guys piece it up, move on before it's too late. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.